How's it going, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Hoping you're having a good Christmas. And let me ask you a question. Have you been buying Christmas presents for you and your loved ones? Mostly for yourself. You're like me. You're going in on all the Black Friday deals, trying to get a couple little things for yourself for Christmas. I don't have anybody to buy gifts for. I ain't got no girlfriend. Who cares? So I've been buying some Magic cards. Maybe I shouldn't buy as many Magic cards, but it's the holidays. There's little deals over on TCG Player. They're giving 10% cash back, so I bought a bunch of Final Fantasy cards I was missing. But I do want to say this is a cautionary tale. The reason I'm making this video is I'm a guy. I've fallen for scams in the past. I've been scammed. It's happened. There's some scams that I've narrowly avoided. There's some scams I fell for them full on. And I got to say, part of the human experience is there's bad people out there. You're gonna get scammed every now and again, which is why you got to be on top of things. Okay, I need you to think. Here's the most important piece of information I can give you. The most important mantra. You've probably heard it, but it's really, really true. If the deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. That's the most important thing. If you're about to get a deal, a guy's going, "Hey, this thing's worth $500. I want to sell it to you for $200. I just need the cash quick. I'm ready to let it go. You know, I don't even know what this is. I just want it's." 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, it's a scam. I got scammed. Thankfully, it's getting taken care of. But I want you guys to see how easy these scams are, how it goes down, and what you can maybe do to avoid it. Now, the card I've been wanting for a while, I was a big fan of Bloomborough. I got a couple of the raised foil cards. I never got the Jace the Mind Sculptor. This is probably the Bloomborough card I want the most. And at some point, I will buy one. I'm not buying one right now, although it has dropped all the way down. Maybe I'm going to buy this one for... Hey, guys, everybody watch this video. Maybe I can get enough ad revenue from getting scammed to go buy a Jace the Mind Sculptor raised foil. So I wanted a Jace. I'm absent-mindedly looking, seeing if there's any deals. And I end up on this website called Mercari. Now, this is not the exact listing. It's one of many listings, okay, for cards on here. But I'm looking, and again, this is about... Jace is at worst a $400 card. There's tons of cards on here. Okay, look at Jace the Mind Sculptor. This actually popped up because Mercari is a big platform. When I searched Jace the Mind Sculptor raised foil on Google, a result came up, and it was a guy selling it for, I believe, about $220. And I said, $220? Wow. Well, that's a scam. That was my first thought was, this is a scam. Because why would this guy sell this card for half price? But then I checked his profile. And I'll tell you right now, I wish we could look at his profile, but it has been taken down. I reported him to the platform. His account's been taken down, but there is a catch, and we're going to talk about that too. I looked at his profile, and he had a bunch of reviews. He had like 100, 200 reviews. Positive, 5 stars. I don't know if it's other people he's scammed or whatever else. This is not the scammer, but again, you can find cards on here. So I said, well, he's got good feedback. I don't know. Maybe it's just Christmas. He's dumping inventory. There's a chance. There's a chance. So, and it was a thing. If you buy 5 items, you get money off or something. He had I should have seen the cards he had and said, there's no way he has all these cards and nobody's bought them already. But I said, here's the deal. And here's one piece of advice I can give you right away. Know the rules of the platform you're on. I looked up Mercari's rules. They said, we have a buyer guarantee. Again, you actually have to pay a little bit extra for your protection. It's standard. You can't not pay it. But I think it actually gets refunded if you get scammed. This is just to pay the people who are in charge of doing the audits. So everything on Mercari costs a little bit more, but that's because they're making sure you're actually getting authentic stuff. And again, a lot of the stuff on here is like Louis Vuitton handbags, stuff where there are scammers running around. I don't hate that they're charging. They know these are big ticket items. They charge a little bit extra. So I get a package, and I won't show the guy's address or my address. But let's real quick. This is the package. Actually, this is the package that is getting sent back. Okay, that is going to be returned. But it looked like this, and I'm going to have to reseal this after I open it again. I don't know why I sealed it to begin with. And I open it up, and let's see what happens after I open it up. Trying not to print the lid. I open it up. I open up my package. Here I go. What do I get? Okay, again, it was a thing. You buy 5 items and you get a discount. So I bought 3 singles and 2 packs of sleeves just to get like a 10% discount. I thought I was smart. I said, I'm so smart buying packs of sleeves to get a discount. And here are the 3 singles I got. Okay, take a look. And this camera does not love to focus, and it does not love to, hopefully it'll focus a little bit. It doesn't like foils. But, Foundation Llanowar Elves. I have one of these. I've always wanted more. The beautiful card. There it goes. Now it's focusing. And it looks good. A Eldritch Evolution. This is a secret layer bonus card that I did not have. And I said, well, that's just a good card. And again, I needed to get the 5-item minimum. And then, of course, the Jace the Mind Sculptor, which was like $220, $250. And here's how you're smart in this hobby. You're gonna start buying high-end singles, and I realized recently that I need to remember to do this more often. Same thing happened to me. I bought a Mox Diamond on eBay, and I should have been on top of it. I waited to check it. I should have checked it immediately. Thankfully, it was still in the terms. The second it comes to your house, if it's a single, more than $10, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take this. Okay, what is this? A little tiny microscope. Okay, what has it got on it? It's got a little light that is not turning on for some reason. Okay, well, now it's broken. I have a broken, there it goes. Got a little light. You put it on top of the card. How do we do this? We put the card on the table. Ideally, we take the card out of the Ultra Pro. Bang. We put a microscope on the card. We use the little rotator. That's actually, I might be able to. Let's see if we can in there. It wants to. It wants to. So what you're looking for, do you see those dots in there? It's not going to be, yeah, there you go. You can see those dots. Okay. Now on a magic card, on a real magic card, it will be a perfectly even spacing of black dots. The brown color of the back of a magic card, it's not brown. A layer of various colors on top of which is a perfectly spaced pattern of black dots. And honestly, I've never seen it. Looking through here, you might think that's correct. If you look at it under the microscope, you'll see the dots are red to make the brown. Not black. They should be black. The other thing you need to do, the common test, and it's very hard for them to film this, or to fake this, go to the green dot, put your microscope over the green dot. Okay, now we're probably not going to be able to see it here, but let me bring up a picture really quick so you know what you're looking for. Let's go back to Firefox here. Green dot test. This is what you need to familiarize yourself with if you're buying magic cards. Because again, here's the crazy thing. We're going to look at it in a second. These aren't bad fakes. At a glance, they look pretty good. Okay. Here we are on Reddit. A real card. Now, on the little green dot, there's that little white splotch that gives it some sort of, I don't know how to describe it. Gives it a little bit of, why does it look crazy on my screen right now? Gives it a little bit of something. Oh, I have a filter on Firefox, which is filtering out some of I was like, wait, it looks way different from me. Hold on, let's turn off the Chrome. There we go. And right in it, if you can see, you're going to see these little red dots within that white spot. And if you see like 3 to 4 red dots inside the highlight, congratulations, you got a real one. If you see a lot of red dots, you fucked up. You got a fake card. Or if you see no red dots, which is what this has, if you look at any of these cards under the microscope, you're not going to see any red dots within the green. Now, the reason I wanted to, I guess, showcase this is you would think something like this would be hard to fake. Because let's be clear, these are the raised foils. And you can actually run your hand along this gold area. Sorry, my camera hates focusing. And it is raised. They did do an actual gold layer on top that you can feel. And you think, oh, well, surely these Chinese factories, I mean, they're going to cut corners. If you brought, I guarantee, if I brought this to your average magic shop, I put it in here's the scam you would do. You put it in a binder along with a bunch of other Bloomberg stuff, and you go, yeah, you know, I bought a couple of the collector boosters, but I decided I'm not really into magic or any of these worth anything. And that's how the scam goes. It's always the guy pretending to be clueless. And the guy behind the counter, I guarantee there's some shop owners would go, oh, hey, well, that card's actually worth something. You pulled this out of a booster, random guy? And you go, oh, really? I had no idea. Well, you know, I don't really want it. You know, maybe you guys could give me, you guys pay cash for trading cards? Wow, okay. Yeah, I could sell it. You know, make me a fair offer. And again, you know, even this, it does. I kind of had a thing where I'm like, if this is how good proxies look, I mean, why am I even buying Magic cards? I hate to say it. I do want to own the official Magic cards, however. There was one other thing on here. The security seal is not great. It looks a little wonky. But again, to the naked eye, you're going to get fucked. I don't care if it's your friend. I don't care if you're buying from a store or whatever else. You got to go, hey, listen, I love the card. I want to get the card. I don't buy cards over $100 unless I can take a look under the microscope just to make sure, just for my own safety. That's something you got to do. If you're buying online, don't use Venmo or any of these other things. It has no buyer protection. If you're buying with PayPal, make sure that you don't. A guy's going to tell you, "Hey, use friends and family." You know, I save money. You want to use friends and family, right? No, get the buyer protection. Okay, because these fake cards are out there. Now, here's the update on this story. Again, I reported this guy, Cardboard Investor, mercari.com/u/cardboard investor to Mercari. They agreed. It looked like he was selling a bunch of fake cards. They took down the account, which is good. And I saw this raised foil proxy. It's possible he's just buying from this guy. This looks like the same card. It's possible. I think he's buying proxies either from this guy or whoever else and just turning around trying to sell them for hundreds. So I said, well, it's good his account got taken down, but here's where I'm confused. Cat's Cards, 263 reviews. And again, I don't have a screenshot of his account from before, but hey, wait a minute. Aren't those sleeves I just bought? And wait, there's that Landwehr Elf I bought for $75. Uh-oh, there's the Jace I bought. I guess I paid $350 for it. So, turns out, I thought his account got banned. I guess it didn't get banned. They just let him change his username to Cat's Cards. It even has the internet's premier MTG store, over 100,000 feedbacks. Same promo he had before, 10% off for 5 items. I told Mercari, I guess now, and I just found this, I'm going to send him an email. I'm going to say, hey, that guy who scammed me, it seems like he just changed his account name. I don't know if that actually gets you around. You can't trust the reviews. Look at this, 263 reviews. Fast and reliable. A++ seller. Awesome condition, great price. Well, yeah, it was a great price because I hate to say it, I think a lot of these people got scammed. I really can't imagine. And again, here's why we know this. Look at this. One ring foil borderless poster, right? Well, that's $550 for a one ring borderless poster. Now it does look like these are his pictures. I'll say one way you can find a scammer is if all the pictures have different backgrounds, one of them's taken on one wooden table, the other one's taken on a couch, that means they're getting their pictures from everywhere else. But $550. Okay. TCGplayer.com. And let's see. One ring poster card. A foil one ring poster right now. Lowest is $900. Okay. So this guy, do I have to say it? I'm going to say it again. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Again, the only reason I took a risk on this was knowing that Mercari has this. Look, the lowest one right now available is $1,100, unless you want a damaged one for $800. Only reason I bought these was knowing that Mercari has a return policy. Thankfully, I didn't buy them on some stupid scammer website. I didn't buy them locally. I covered my bases. I'm now going to put them back in this. I kind of want to cut them up with scissors, but I'm worried that Mercari will say that for some reason invalidates my return, so I'm not going to do that. Just going to send them back, and I'm going to send Mercari a message letting them know that if you can just change your username, what's the point of this? I don't understand that at all. You can just change your username and keep scamming people? Crazy. So, guys, it really comes down... I just want to reiterate it. You're going to get scammed every now and again. It sucks. And what happens is you get all excited because there's something exciting about, I found a deal. I'm so smart. I'm going to get a great deal. I'm going to be so happy. This card I wanted is half price. You don't think clearly. When you're a guy like me, you've lived long enough, you've been scammed enough times, you go, stop. You're about to send a guy $400. What happens if this man across the the internet from you as a liar. What's going to happen? Is it on eBay where you can return it? Is it on a platform you can return it? Or are you about to meet a guy in an alleyway and get mugged? I'll tell you guys real quick. I'm going to tell you guys the best scam that ever happened to me. Okay? What can I put on the... I don't know if they ever got this guy. This was the best scam I ever walked into. I was looking for a place to rent. This is a good story. I was looking for a place to rent. And I was desperate. I really wanted to find a good place to live in L.A. Obviously, L.A. housing. Back then, it was expensive. Well, not as expensive as it is now, but it was still expensive. And I find a listing for an apartment, 2-bedroom or something, $800 a month. I went, this is $800 a month. Okay, it's not in a great part of town, but for a 2-bedroom, the lady gives me the address. She says, "Here." I call the number on the listing. I say, "Hey, I'm interested in the apartment." She said, "Oh, that's great. Hey, come meet me at the apartment. I'll show it to you. You can decide if you like it." I said, "Okay." I drive over to the apartment. I get to the apartment, and there's nobody there. And I called the number. I go, "Hey, I'm here to see the apartment." She said, "Oh, here's the thing. I'm busy showing somebody an apartment across town, but there's a code to the door. Just put in the code. I'm not there, but what are you going to do? It's an empty apartment. Here's the code to the door. Put in the code. Go in, look around. Let me know if you like it." I said, "Okay." I put in the code to the door. I go into the apartment, and immediately I go, "This is perfect. Big apartment, lots of room." It was not like a nice, like fancy apartment where I was getting suspicious. It was kind of a crummy apartment, but it was a great fucking deal for me, a guy who didn't have a lot of money. I said, "This is great. I'm going to move in next." I start getting excited. That's how they get you. I got excited. I said, "I've been looking for an apartment. I'm so excited. I found something great. If I can get this apartment, I'm going to be so happy." That's the mindset. That's when you get scammed, is when you get into this like almost FOMO of, I have to get this or I'm going to feel like an idiot. I'm going to feel like I missed out. So I call her up and I go, "I love this apartment. I really want this apartment." She said, "That's awesome. That's great. The only, she says, listen, but here's the problem is I got an old lady who I showed it to." Anytime they bring up an old lady, it's a scam. She goes, I have an old lady I showed it to. She's interested in it. And I did show it to her first. She said, "But here's the thing is the old lady hasn't put a deposit down yet. I'm going to give it to whoever gets me the deposit. She said, again, I'm across town. If you can go to the bank, wire me $1,200, security fee, a month's rent, whatever it was. I don't remember the exact number." She said, "But just go to the bank. If you wire it to me, it's your apartment." And I said, I drove to the bank. I was sitting in the parking lot. I was preparing to go in. And then for some reason, actually, I know what the reason was. I had been on Craigslist looking for apartments, and somebody had mentioned some weird scam where a lady who used to work for one of these apartment rental places, and I don't know how I didn't put this together sooner, but she had worked for one of these apartment rental, companies. She knew all the door codes. She had a list of every code to get into every apartment. And what would happen is she would make fake listings on Craigslist. You would show up, call her up. She'd said, "Oh, well, I'm with the thing. I know the door code. Why would I know? How could I know the door code unless it's my apartment?" Give you the door code. You go and look around. And then she says, "Yeah, just wire me some money." So I call her back and I go, and I'll be honest, I was still an idiot. Like I must have been in a brain panic or something where I'm like, I have to get this apartment, because I called her back and I said, "Hey, I'm about to wire the money. It's like I almost wanted it to not be a scam that badly. As I said, I'm just a little nervous about wiring the money. Is it possible? I'll wait. I'll meet up with you later." She said, "Oh, I don't know. I think you'd have to do it right now." This is how stupid I am. I mean, it's a scam. Shut up. Why are you bargaining with the scammer? And I said, "Well, I'm just a little worried because I was on Craigslist the other day and I was reading about this scam where a lady's giving out door codes." She immediately hung up. And that's when I went, "Oh, I'm an idiot." I don't know why I don't know why there was part of me that thought maybe this is still a real apartment. But at the second she hung up, the second she heard, I heard about this scam, she hung up, and that's it. I went back to the apartment. I took a piece of paper. I wrote on it, "Hey, if you came here and some random lady gave you a door code, you're being scammed. Walk out of the apartment right now." I put that letter on the kitchen table in the apartment and I left. But that's how you get scammed. You get excited. You think you're about to get the deal of a century, and you don't think it through. So just think it through. Go buy a little, what do you call it? Little microscope. And maybe you won't get scammed in the future like I did. But again, I get to return this stuff. Don't buy from Cat's Cards. Don't buy from Cardboard Investor. I don't know. He might have stole those names. Those might be actual people whose names he stole to sell on Mercari. I'm not sure. But just be diligent. And also promote this video so that I get enough ad revenue to buy this Jace the Mind Sculptor for $413. That's not a bad price. I wonder if I can flip some singles and buy them. Take care of yourselves, guys. Don't get scammed. And come by Whatnot, where I will not scam you. I want to sell you my magic cards. Bye-bye.